You see, in every pen, we then have a resting bay so that when it's very wet, they come and just bask before it's time for them to go to pasture. So, let me take you back. So when I went to university, my dad had told us so many times that people in Nairobi eat donkeys that I believe that the meat in the maize was donkey. And I think it was. Because I ate once and I was like, this is not meat. So how we operated as a family is whoever is coming to the village comes with a cooler box. So they slaughter the goat for you and then you take it to everyone in Nairobi and then people will distribute it and put it in the freezer. And so that's how I lived all my life. All my life was, I don't eat meat from Nairobi. I believed meat from Nairobi was from donkeys. And my dad actually, he still believes that. So it means that I come with my cooler box and go. So it was very easy for me then to take the meat to my friends because I always have a cooler box in my boot anyway. So that's how now it morphed into not doing livestock, not doing the big livestock, the cattle, but doing the small livestock.
So what are you checking?
I'm checking. So you see, when I'm checking whether they are anemic, if they're not well, if they're not eating well, the eyes will show. The eyes will show that the lid of the eyes will be pale pink. So this one's, it's feeding well. So you're just checking that, and then you check for ticks. Check for ticks underneath. So that's also, you know, how the hygiene of the place. And now you just generally check the fur whether there is any ticks, and you can see there are no ticks. So that's it. So it's a well taken care of lamb. This is a dopa.
What are the characteristics?
The blackheads. The blackhead always, the blackheads. And you can already tell this one is less than 1 month, but you can even tell how heavy it is. So you can the blackhead is always the characteristic of a dopa. Blackhead, but you can tell, and then you can see the tail. This one has not. So normally we dock the tails to avoid diseases. So you can see the tail is a straight tail. If it was docked well, it would be a very short tail. Yeah, so this guy is doing well. He's healthy, he's suckling well, doesn't have ticks. So this one, in 4 months, it will be ready for slaughter. And the mother is looking for it. You see how the mom is such a bad breed, but it's given us such a good breed. As I'm herding in hills, maybe actually herding in hills, I remember, first of all, livestock farming was perceived to be for a person who's not gone to school, for an old person, it was perceived to be just a thing that even the young guys don't want to associate with. So of course that's just the name for herding in hills. Like you can still herd and look very good in your hills. I don't know whether hills are practical, but yes, once in a while. So my former job was in international organizations, and I worked as a humanitarian worker, as a humanitarian lawyer, because that's what I was trained for in school. I think the structures and the systems, and then also being there was a lot of things they used to call something called community partnership. That community partnership had structures. So the structures around the community partnership, I think, is what we use to the community. So we call the community that keep our animals, we call them breeders. There are already a lot of structures. Like I started doing exactly what I used to see us doing in the refugee world. You go to the host community, you have what is called barazas, and you explain to them. And that's how I started. I have a lot of barazas with the people who I'll be interested for them to do the breeding for us. So for me, I feel like the community aspect, and of course now running a business, then there are a lot of the structures that needed to happen. Interestingly, the word traceability was used a lot in my time in the organization, because we use a lot of files that belong to people. And now it's the same thing that we are using now, because we are tracing animals right now. We are doing traceability. We know this animal was last in someone's farm. This is what happened. So I feel like that then brings a lot of order and structure. So it wasn't very hard for me to have that in the organization. The belts have different jingles, and they are put on different type of animals. Mostly it's the first animal, the one that heads the pack, and then that always remains behind so that you can hear it. because we're the one that heads the pack and the one that remains behind and don't go at the same pace. So the shepherd is always aware of that. Remember, livestock generally is not associated with a woman, and not also that women in the pastoral community, which the Ma is part of the pastoral community, are to be seen, not to be heard. You're supposed to be seen. In fact, when they tell you the kids are doing well, just remember out of that kid, the kid's story. Remember the wife is there. Because for us, before we do anything, we ask you, how are you? We always have pleasantries. And someone will say, the children are doing well. Just remember in the children, the wife is there as well. So I come back, and not only that, I have to have barazas. And these barazas, you have to have them with the men, because the men are the one that own the livestock. So first time I remember I went with my father, and I remember someone just came and said, hey, excuse me, you need to stand up. I'm like, why should I stand up? Because there are not enough seats. And because there are not enough seats, the thing for the community is that the women are the one that sits on the floor. So I'm thinking, no, I should not stand up. So of course, the one I stand up and tears all through. And then the other time now, there was a baraza that my dad was not able to attend. And I went, and the baraza starts, and then this person says, where is your father? I said, no, I'm the one who is here. And so for that already, they think, first of all, who are you? Why are you speaking to us? You speak through a man. 2, you now are telling us this is how things are going. So you're making decisions for us. It still is. Up to today, there are people who I know cannot transact with me, not because I don't have the money, not because I don't have the knowledge, but because simply you are a woman. Even surprisingly, even in the ranching industry, I have had people text me and said, hi, sir, and they continue their messages. So I never correct. I just continue and continue. And then one day you see me and you're like, oh, all along I thought I was chatting with a man, because the ranching industry as is already is a man-dominated industry. You can see the long ears. The long ears is what we call the gala, or what the Maasai call the siolo. The long ears. So you can already, and it's like the ears are like navy blue. If you look at their ears, it's not just long and white, it's long and navy blue. So that's what we call the gala goats, or the siolo. And then the ones that are black in them, that's the East African, the local East African goat. And then the billy goat now, that is also trying to get ready. We are giving it time to get ready for mating. It's a cross of a boa and a gala. So the gala gives it the height, the boa gives it the body.